All right, everybody, welcome. NorCal Sports Network. Giants lose 4-3, as predicted here in the pregame show. Thought it would be a 5-4. Thought it would be a close game. Look, guys, Giants, they're just not a good team, okay? You can't keep losing to crappy teams and expect to stay in this race. You know, the Mets lost. No, the Mets won. The Braves lost tonight. Giants could have picked up a much-needed game. They didn't. We've been saying for quite a while now the season's over. So, they'll go back tomorrow, and Logan Webb will be on the mound. But anyway, guys, welcome in NorCal Sports Network. In fact, we're missing – hold on here. I got to fix things here, guys. There we go. All right. NorCal Sports Network, heard here on YouTube, also on Twitter, formerly known as X. Hey, guys, if you're watching on Twitter, make sure you subscribe on YouTube. We got a lot of people that watch us on Twitter, and a lot of you watch, but it would really appreciate the subs. We're right at 2,200. We kicked 2,200 down last night, and then we fell back a couple. Somehow, people subscribe, unsubscribe, whatever. But we're right at 2,200. So appreciate you subscribing. NorCal Sports Network right here on YouTube, Twitter, formerly or X, formerly as Twitter, and we're on Instagram, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TikTok, whatever else there is, Facebook. So, guys, appreciate you joining. Good to see you, Kitchen Handy. Haven't seen you for a few days. Yeah, this is just a rough season. It's going to be an under 500 look, guys. These are the three easiest games on the schedule. They've had a pretty easy month of August, and they didn't capitalize. In fact, guys, you know what? Let's take a look. Let's just for fun. Let's take a look at the schedule in August. I thought they'd finish 3 over 500. Let's see where they're at. Started the month off in Cincinnati, won 2 of 3. Went to Washington, won 3 of 4. Everybody had hope then, and I was telling you, don't get hopes. But they were 5-2 on that trip, and then they came home, won 2 in a row against Detroit. Now they're 7-2. Then they lose the final, 7-3. Then they lose the first 3 against Atlanta, 7-6. Win the final, 8-6. Lose to Oakland, 8-7. Win in Oakland, 9-7. Beat the White Sox 2 in a row, so they're 11-7. Then they lose to the White Sox, 11-8. And lose 2 of 3 to Seattle. So they are 12-10, leaving Seattle. They lose 2 of 3 in Milwaukee. So they go from 12-10 to 13-12. Win last night, 14-12. Lose today, 14. They finished the month 14-13. That's pathetic. Pathetic when you have the White Sox for 3, Milwaukee, Miami 2, that's 5 games. You also had Oakland in there for a couple, even though Oakland's not as bad as, their record indicates. But, hold on one second. Let me close my door here. Okay. But anyway, that's the Giants. The big news of the day is Ricky Pearsall, San Francisco 49ers, who was shot in the chest. He's serious but stable condition, what we're hearing. Guys, this is, really, really sad. Really sad that I don't know the details of it. Maybe some of you have. I have not been able to even look things up. I have been on the run today. And so maybe somebody has some news on Pearsall. What, I don't know if he had to go through surgery to remove the bullet. Any news? I don't know. I saw some video on him on Twitter. It looked like it was maybe the right side of on his chest, which is better than the heart. Rough. I'm hearing people. I talked about it on the pregame. Yeah, I agree, Aaron. Maybe a Niners hat. Let me put a Niners hat on. Hold on. Let's wear a Niners hat. Good idea. All right. So Ricky Pearsall, the guy was, I guess, trying to steal his Rolex watch. Look, guys, I went on the pregame and said, yeah, this happens in every city, but San Francisco has a bad reputation right now for a lot of crime that doesn't get prosecuted. We all know about the break-ins of every car. Los just was there last week, rented a car, and was told basically, don't keep anything, not only not in your car locked up in plain sight, but don't even keep anything in your trunk, because now the criminals have gadgets and access to trunks that they pry open. So, and the city basically does nothing about it a lot. And we've all seen the break-ins to all of the different stores. But there's a lot of crap that goes on in every major city. But San Francisco, I got texts tonight, believe it or not, from people in this that have been a part of the city. Hey, look, this, and I said this is, even though it may not be fair, this is going to hurt the Giants in free agency. Okay. This is an athlete that got shot, and the likelihood that this could happen in any city of America, major city, it's there. It can happen, but there's a stigma about San Francisco, and it's not going to be just easy to blow over. It's a tough blow to the city, because its reputation for having so many issues. And so I think this could hurt the Giants in their free agency attempt, maybe even to sign a Juan Soto. I don't know. I'm going to believe that, we heard about it from Shohei last year, right? Shohei didn't want to come to the city. This is tough. This is tough. But hopefully Pearsall recovers, man. If you're a praying person, lift him up in prayer. Just want to see him get well. This is well, I'm reading the chat. Guy, nobody happened to anybody's car. I just said that Los recently rented a car and was told by the rental car agency, don't keep anything in your trunk if you're in the city. That's all. But this isn't new to just San Francisco. There's gun violence in every major city, smaller cities all across America. This is just an issue with look, guns are not the issue. Okay. Let me just get that clear. It's a people problem. Okay. It's people who are messed up. I own guns. Okay. In Arizona, it's legal to carry. I can carry in Arizona legally, and I can carry concealed. Okay, I don't even need a special permit in Arizona. Okay, Texas, same way. Some other states are that way. And you know what? There's responsibilities that comes with owning a gun. And you better know how to use it. You better have safety, how to use it. But when I carry a gun, I don't, it's for my protection, for my family. I don't sit there and, but if somebody's gonna have something that goes crazy, yeah, you're. So this is, a lot of people make issue of guns and stuff. This is just an issue with people. Okay, there's whacked out people all over, and that's the problem. Cap, you're speaking like a person who doesn't probably never had a gun in your hand. It's like you get trained with a gun and you do it properly and you go through and get it, before I ever touched a gun, I went through safety training and got cleared, my son and I both. So, look, guns are not the problem. So let's, I don't want to make this into a political thing at all. It's not political. Okay. A lot of people want to talk about guns, the issue, but look, people who are not law-abiding citizens are always going to have access to guns because that's what they are. They're criminals. They're not law-abiding citizens. So why would you take a gun out of a law-abiding citizen to defend and protect themselves? That's all I'm saying. People don't understand that, is that criminals will do anything to break the law. So, anyway, let's get back to Giants. This box score, let me pull it up here, guys. I want to bring up the box score from tonight. I had it going here. Let me bring it right here. All right. Just 1 second here. All right. Not much happened tonight, guys. Giants bats were pretty silent. Only Encarnacion and Conforto brought their bats to the game. Conforto, nice bang to right field for a hit that got the runner over to third. Chapman was, I believe, on first on an error. They didn't wait a minute. I didn't see the first part of the game. Let me look at the error. Yeah. Okay. They gave him wait a minute. Third baseman, Bride. Yeah, they gave him an error. Okay, good. Making sure Chapman didn't get credit for a hit on that infield, that throwing error. Michael Conforto with a nice shot, home run to make it a 4-3 game. And that's how the game ended. A little controversy tonight in the game. By the way, stars of the game, I guess you got to go Conforto. Carcianone was a standout. Wisely got a nice hit. Pitching, Mason Black, not bad. Gave up the 2-run homer, but otherwise pitched pretty solid. 6 strikeouts, no base on balls. I think that was a good outing for Mason Black. So give him a little credit there. But I'll say this. Yes, Bub Rad says the starting pitcher for the Marlins had an ERA of over 5, and the Giants could only muster 3 runs. And I think weren't 2 of them only off of him? I just had the box score up. Let me pull it back up here. Marlins, yeah, he only gave up 1 earned run. He gave up 2 runs total, 1 earned run in 5 1/3. And it lowered his ERA to 5.33. Horrible. Giants are horrible, guys. Horrible hitting team. It's just a bad lineup that can't hit because they don't hit and move the base runners. They don't put up a lot of crooked numbers. This is a low-scoring team, and they can't hit with runners in scoring position because they have a lot of swing and miss in their lineup. And you can't have 7, 8 guys in the lineup that are swing and miss. If you look at the lineup, just from tonight's lineup, I mean, take a look at this lineup, guys. Yeah, swing and miss. Canna, probably more the contact hitter, but he's not going to be on the team. Ramos, a lot of swing and miss. Chapman, swing and miss. Conforto, swing and miss. Fitzgerald, swing and miss. Bailey, swing and miss. And Carcinon, swing and miss. Look, these guys are swing and miss a lot. That's why they're so high in strikeouts, why the Giants constantly are in double digits in strikeouts. It's just a bad lineup. They need guys like Jung-Hoo Lee. That was a big injury, losing Jung-Hoo Lee this year. I mean, because the one thing Lee did, he didn't hit for a lot of power, but he hit the ball. He's a guy that, with runners in scoring position, is going to at least put the ball in play. You saw the play where Yaz drove in the run from third base with just a ground ball. It's fortunate he hit the ground ball because Yaz strikes out a lot. That's why when you see runners in scoring position, they're 2 for 12, 0 for 10, 3 for 17, whatever it is. When they get a lot of guys on for some reason, even if it's walks, whatever they get on, hits, walks, they don't score because they strike out too much. So this is a huge problem with the club going forward. And this is something that they're really going to have to work on. They're going to have to find more guys like Jung-Hoo Lee in the lineup for next year. So I think this is a big issue. So the Giants now fall to 68 and 69 on the season, and their actual the magic number continues to drop for the Giants. I mean, really, it's the Braves, but right now, if we took a peek at the standings after tonight's games, let me just pull that up here. Let's take a look at the wild card here, okay? All right. Diamondbacks and Padres in virtual tie. They both lost. The Braves lost. All 3 teams lost tonight. The Mets and Cubs gained, though. Okay, Mets and Cubs each won tonight. And that moves them a little closer. The Mets are only 2 back, and the Cubs are only 4 now. Hold on here. My daughter just texted me. Me just always want to keep my line open for my daughter, okay? So if you see me distracted and I'm talking to my kids, okay. So what I want to look at here is the Braves 74 and 62. Okay. The Giants 68 and 69. The most the Giants can win is 93 games. Okay. The most they can win is 93 games. But the Giants, even if they win 93 and the Braves win 90, the Braves only have to win 92 because the Braves hold the tiebreaker. So 92 wins will do it for Atlanta if the Giants won out and won 25 games in a row. That's how many they got left. So the magic number, the Braves to win 92 only have to go to 18 more wins. That means the magic number is 18. Remember when it was like 22 or 23? The Braves 74. Yeah, Braves win 92. Giants win. Hold on. I'm doing this wrong, guys. I'm distracted. Braves 93. So I guess if the Braves can get to 93, that clinches it automatically. So 93 for the Atlanta would be 19. So the magic number is technically 19, not 18. So any combination of Giants losses and Braves wins moves it down one. So tonight, the magic number, yeah, Shota, you got it right there. Just looked to see your, yeah, just looked and saw your, as I was on, moved the screen. So tonight, the magic number dropped one because the Braves lost, but the Giants lost. So that moves the magic number. It was 20 before tonight. So tomorrow, if the Braves win and the Giants win, it still drops. It goes down to 18. If the Giants lose and the Braves lose, it drops to 18. If they both lose, the Braves win and the Giants lose, it drops it from 19 to 17. Each game, it drops one. So the only way the magic number stays the same at 19 is if the Braves lose and the Giants win. That's the only way it stays. So this magic number, if we look at the schedule going forward, hold on. Let me, 1 sec, guys. 1 sec. I'm back. Sorry. All right. Yeah, all my co-hosts are not available tonight. So I'm running this myself here. But we look at this. I told you guys the Cubs would catch the Giants, didn't I? You guys remember that? I told you I think the Cubs and Cardinals, and I even said the Reds. It doesn't look like the Reds will do it. But the Giants right now, if you look at the standings, there's 6 teams that make it, 3 division, 3 wild cards. The Giants are technically 7, Mets 8, 9. They're 10th. And I said they would finish 11. So we'll see if Cincinnati or Pittsburgh can catch him. It doesn't look like it, but you never know. The Giants could go into a real full blowout downturn. I don't expect them to be very competitive when they go on the road. They've got 3 coming up with Arizona next week, starting on Tuesday night. And then they've got the road trip after that. So, okay, Cap wants to join. I'm confident I could be the co-host. Cap, okay. We did put the link out last night. Guys, I know some of you guys get really upset when the Giants lose. I've pretty much, let me move that out of the way. I've resigned to myself they're not a good team. And so I don't get upset when they lose because I expect them to lose a lot. So when they lose, I'm not overly upset. It's when I expect the team to win and they constantly disappoint you, you get upset. If you just go into it realizing they're not a good team, you don't get your hopes dashed. Like I get really upset when the Niners lose. It's kind of like frustrating. I used to get really upset when, hey, Kyle, good to see you. I used to get really upset when the Giants would lose because, you want them to win as much as you can. At this point, the best thing that can happen, and hear me out, guys, this is not, some of you guys will say this is blasphemy, but if you hear me, I think you'll understand. The Giants need drastic change, okay? They need drastic change. And next year is not going to be any better if Farhan's running this team, because they're not going to be able to, he doesn't make trades. And the Giants, frankly, don't have a lot of assets to make trades. So, and we just mentioned the situation with Ricky Pearsall, and whether it's true or whether it's just a misconception, it does bear a factor, I believe. You tell me a wife that says, let's go to San Francisco, that's a star player, that wants to go to San Francisco when she reads on the news that, player got shot. Perception is reality, right? To a lot of people. So I think the Giants are going to have trouble getting star free agents. They'll get free agents. Don't get me wrong. They'll get people that will continue to sign. It's just, are you going to get the best people to come out? So it's going to have an effect. Look, like I said, I received texts from people that said, here, I'll read it. I'll read it right here. Pearsall being shot today will do wonders for the free agent quest of the Giants. Okay. Yeah. It is going to have an effect, unfortunately. It's again, perception is reality. So what do the Giants got to do? They got to make trades. They have nothing in the farm system to keep them competitive next year. There's nothing that Bryce Eldridge is not going to be here next year in 25. He's the real deal. The guy can mash, but they don't have him. He's not going to be here till at least 26. Okay. If the Giants couldn't get top free agents to come here before, why are they going to get him now? I mean, it's been a problem even during the Ned Colletti or the Brian Sabian days. They didn't get the major free agents here. But Brian knew how to run a ball club. He knew how to draft, develop. I mean, they weren't perfect. They had a lot of bad drafts too, but they had a lot of really good players they drafted in the 2000s, okay? And they all grew up together. And that group, what happened was, because they had the nucleus of a good drafts, they drafted good players. They came up together. They won. They had guys in the farms that they could trade away to get key acquisitions to make them better. And the farm system got depleted because then they started winning and that they were at the top of the draft, which makes what the Dodgers do even more incredible, and even the Astros to an extent. It's hard to stay on top on a regular basis, but the Dodgers have found a way. And guys, if you think Farhan was the reason for the success of the Dodgers, then why are the Dodgers continuing to have great success and the Giants are not? That doesn't make any sense at all. A lot of people said, oh, Farhan, we got to get Farhan, Larry Baer went out and got Farhan and said, he's the guy, he's on the cutting edge of baseball. And we're going to be at the top of the game when it comes to analytics. And we're going to compete with the Dodgers and we're going to improve our farm system and we're going to make this and that. And Farhan is the guy to do it. Look, guys, year 6 and it's a disaster. You think year 7 is going to be better with Farhan? Anybody believe that Farhan's the answer for 2025? I challenge you to come in here and tell us. Come tell us why Farhan is the guy. It's ridiculous. So, Eddie K says, as long as Curry's still playing 5-6 blocks south of Pac Bell, I don't think this will affect any free agent from signing here for good or bad. In the end, it's the team and its culture. There's a lot of truth in that statement. It is the team. It is the culture. It's none of it's good. You don't have an aggressive person running the ship and being able to make that pitch. But baseball's a little different too. Baseball guys, whether you agree or disagree, it's just the facts that baseball tends to breed more conservative type players because it's just the way it is. Okay. It's just baseball is, unfortunately, it's not a game that gets played a lot in the inner cities because of the cost to play the game, the cost of equipment, the travel, all of that. So the game gets played in the majority of and is just a lot of conservatives. And, true or not, San Francisco has a rap for being, not conservative. I'll just say that. Okay. Now, the city to me is one of the most beautiful cities around. I love the city. Yeah, Aaron, you're right. In all fairness, most players with families don't live in the city. It's very true. They live out in the East Bay or they live other places. They're not out there in the city. But tell that to people who are not from the city, not from the Bay Area, and it gets a bad rap. It does. It just does. It has negative connotations, and it is a political thing that people use to beat down San Francisco, unfortunately. So it's a rough situation. So the Giants, getting back to the Giants, they're just going to have to make trades to get better. And you got to be able to make those trades and willing to trade guys. And it's rough. If the Giants somehow can pull it off and go out and get a Juan Soto, that would be amazing. They're going to have to pay $100 million more than the nearest pursuer, maybe even more than that. I don't think it happens. Do I want to see it happen? Yeah, because that would instantly make the Giants a much better team. I think they would be, it would help attract other players, but they still have to make trades. Giants need 2 bats next year, guys. Name me the 2 bats that the Giants need. And Jung-Hoo Lee is not the one of the 2 I'm talking about. He will be a help, but they need 2 guys, that are stars, proven stars in the game right now. If the Giants are ever going to get good, they're going to need 2 stars. Okay, and I'm not talking Logan Webb, Blake Snell. I'm talking everyday players. Okay? Almost every team that has a star, that's good, has a star. Diamondbacks is having a down year, but Corbin Carroll is a star-type player. Ketel Marte is a top 5 MVP candidate this year. Probably would be in the top 3 if it wasn't he's been hurt for 2 weeks. San Diego, they have their guys. They have Tatis, Bogarts, Machado. Okay. The Braves, They have Acuna. He's out, but they have Acuna. They have Riley. They have Albies who's out. They got Michael Harris. Okay. The Mets, they have Lindor and Alonso. They're winning. But, I'm just talking about the teams ahead of the Giants. Okay. In the American League, the wild card teams, Baltimore has Rutschman and Gunnar Henderson. Kansas City, they've got Whit Merrifield. At least they got one. Minnesota, not so much, but they got Correa and they got, I'm drawing a blank, the kid that's always hurt, the third baseman. It'll come to me. Anyway, Red Sox, they have Duran this year. Seattle, they've got Julio Rodriguez. If we looked at the teams in the leaders, the Yankees, they got Soto and Judge. Cleveland, they've got Jose Ramirez. Okay, there's a star on almost everything. Houston's got Alvarez and Altuve, and Bregman. The National League, the Phillies, they got Harper and they got Trey Turner. Milwaukee, Milwaukee's an interesting team. They really don't have the star right now that I can think of, but they got a couple of young guys in Churio and Terang that are coming up that look like they have star potential. And they had Christian Yelich, but he's out. And then, of course, the Dodgers. Did you see the Dodgers, by the way, tonight? Shohei, Betts, and Freeman started the game, top of the first, back to back to back, 3-0 Dodgers. Unbelievable. Back to back to back, 3 straight homers to start the game. Wow. That's some firepower. San Jose Sharks says, Dan, I say they need Soto, then either trade for Brissett or sign Kim. Yeah, something like that. That's what the Giants have to do. They're not going to win without a star. Now, they may start winning when Eldridge plays in a couple of years because he might be their star. But Matt Chapman is not a star, guys. He's not the star I'm talking about. Matt Chapman is nowhere near being a star. He's just 100% not the guy. Great fielder, just not a clutch hitter. He did it last night. He's going to come through at times. But for the most part, Matt Chapman hits in the low 200s with runners in scoring position. You can't count on him. Some guys just have that clutch gene. And if Chapman had a clutch gene, he'd have 90 RBIs right now. But he's in the mid 60s. Okay. I mean, there's guys in that have a lot of RBIs with other teams that aren't like great hitters. It's pretty amazing. If I told you the RBI leaders, and I just here I'll mention to you the RBI leaders here in the big leagues right now. The RBI leaders, besides, the big ones, of course, everybody knows Judge, Ramirez, Osuna, Josh Naylor, Ohtani. How about Vinny Pasquantino? I mean, this guy's 97 RBIs. He's hitting 262, but 97 RBIs. Bobby Witt, 96 for the Royals. Perez, 94 for the Royals. Look at that. Brett Rooker, 91 for the A's. Spencer Steer, guy's hitting 235. Chapman's hitting higher than that. Spencer Steer, 85 RBIs. Eugenio Suarez with the Diamondbacks hitting 236, 83 RBIs. Cal Raleigh hitting 205 with the Mariners, 80 RBIs. See what I'm talking about? Ian Happ hitting 241, 76 RBIs. Brandon Nimmo hitting 231, has 72 RBIs. Rhys Hoskins, 213, 68 RBIs. Then you get the leader of the Giants, Matt Chapman, with 67. You see what I'm talking about? These guys, Chapman's the leader of the Giants in RBIs, and this is awful. You got to be able to drive in runs, guys. This is why the Giants are a game under 500. If the Giants actually could hit with runners in scoring position, just think about all the one-run games they've lost. Low-scoring games, too. Like tonight, 4-3, 3-2, 3-1. They won last night, 3 runs in the 8th inning. They got the big hit with bases loaded. Chapman finally came through. But imagine if he had come through and a few other guys had come through with clutch hits. The Giants probably would give them 6 more wins. And instead of having a record of 68 and 69, isn't that what their record is? 68 and 69? Guys, let me look here. I'm going off memory again. Giants are 68 and 69. Give them 6 more wins. That means they'd only have 63 losses, and they'd be 74 and 63. Think about that. 74 and 63 with a few more hits, timely hits, and they would be ahead of the Mets. They'd be a half game behind Atlanta. 74, 6 wins. That's how much baseball can change. Just getting some clutch hits. It's pathetic. So this is a huge issue with the Giants, scoring runs. And I would love to tell you, hey, this is a rough year. Next year's the year they'll bounce back. But I am here to tell you that I think next year's worse than this year. You got Blake Snell right now. You're not going to have Blake Snell this next year. Conforto's not going to be here next year. Who's the outfield? Ramos, Lee, and who? Is McRae going to be able to make it? Second base, Estrada looks like he's gone. They've already taken him off the roster. That tells you he's gone. Who's going to take his place? Lamont Wade has 5 home runs at first base. Wilmer Flores, does he come back? Do they want him back? It's a player option. Do they let him come back and then release him, or accept him and say, welcome back? Hopefully you can give us some production similar to the 23 Wilmer Flores. Bright side, we saw Ramos and Fitzgerald emerge. Now, I agree, Nate Dogg. The question is, do they bounce back and have the same year? Look at Corbin Carroll. Rookie of the year last year. Top 5 guy, MVP, unbelievable season. And then he's had a terrible season, and recently he's caught fire. But Corbin Carroll's coming back, but first 100-plus games, he was terrible. So we don't know what'll happen with Ramos and Fitzgerald next year. Fitzgerald needs to work on, on seeing stuff that spins. He's a great fastball hitter, but he chases a lot of balls that are, low and away. Just put some spin on it, and he's fishing. So, again, a lot of swing and miss. Jung-Hoo Lee could help. I think that was as we look now, I think Jung-Hoo Lee was a bigger loss than we anticipated, even though we saw the emergence of Ramos. Be nice to have both. I guess the one thing that was good and I hate injuries, but the one thing that turned out to be good with Jung-Hoo Lee out is they could not platoon Ramos. Imagine if Jung-Hoo Lee didn't go out, and Ramos probably wouldn't have got a full-time job. And the fact that he did, and he made the All-Star team, is pretty amazing. But I just think, I don't know where the hope is for next year. I mean, everybody says, well, they're going to be a year better. Well, really? Who's playing first next year? Who's playing second? I guess you could pencil Fitzgerald in at short. Who's playing third? Maybe it's Chapman. Probably will be Chapman is my guess. They'll probably try and re-sign him. But does Scott Boras accept that deal? Outfield, 2/3 of it looks like it's set with Lee and Ramos. Who's the third guy? Is it McRae? I don't know. Can he hit? He hasn't shown he can hit much in the minors. Bailey, catching. He's never hit well in the minors, and he's showing who he is the last 2 years. Starts fast and he fades. Looks like a 230, 240 hitter. What is Bailey hitting right now? Patrick Bailey on the season, after tonight, Bailey went 0 for 4. He's down to 228. 228, guys. I mean, I don't want to be like the guy that just, dogs on the Giants. I'm just trying to give you a reality, guys. Yaz, he'll probably be back. Giants can offer him, tender him. But if he's a starting outfielder next year, you're in trouble. As Aaron says, I'm fine with Yaz on the roster as the fourth outfielder. I just put that up. Where did it go? Hold on. I didn't mean to. Yaz is coming back. Aaron says he's fine with Yaz on the roster as a fourth outfielder. He'll probably come back. But he better not be anything but a fourth outfielder. Guys, this is bleak. Very bleak. You're lucky the Rockies are in the National League West, because if they weren't, if any team in the National League Central were in the West, even though they've got struggles there, we look at the Pirates are down since it, but I think any one of those teams would contend with the Giants for fourth place. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. Hold on one sec. Okay, here with Giants third baseman. Guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. Just a brief moment there. Remove that. Okay, here we go. Everybody hear me all right? Sorry about that, guys. Had to grab an important call, and it's just me tonight. So glad we had that Willie Mays tribute to play for you during the absence to hold you over. I got to get more stuff in the video cart there. I started to play the Casey Schmidt interview, but then I realized there's a bunch of music playing in the Giants clubhouse, and I don't want to get demonetized with YouTube. So we'll put some special videos in our little cart here, so that if something like that happens again, we could play that, air that. Hey guys, just to give you a little heads up here, working on some interviews. We've got Bobby Evans, former GM of the Giants, coming on Tuesday night at 9:30. He'll be here. And then Dave Dravecki will be here next Thursday, former Giants pitcher. So you're not going to want to miss those two. And for 49er fans, haven't shored up the date, but I've been in contact with former San Francisco 49ers center Alex Mack, who played drafted by the Cleveland Browns, played at Cal, drafted by Cleveland, had a great career with the Browns, and then played in Super Bowl, that Super Bowl that the Atlanta lost to New England, the one Atlanta was up 28-3. Be fun to talk to him about that. He played with a broken leg in that game. And then he came to the Niners for his last year. He was, really shored up that offensive line. So we'll talk to him about that. So guys, anybody heard any more news on Pearsall? Any updates? I need to check that out. Trying to do some of that as I go through this. But, tough day for the city of San Francisco and the 49ers. Prayers out to Ricky Pearsall, his family, and for a full recovery. Gosh, I don't know how you come back and play without having to miss some time with something like that. I would imagine he has to miss a few games. They might be able to put him on some type of IR. I don't know. Wow. That's brutal. Yeah, non-life-threatening injuries is what I heard. He was stable. Good. Thank you, Marcus and Philip. Are they are they having to do any kind of surgery at all, or did the bullet is it still in him, inside of him, or did it get? Man, he's very fortunate. I think he got hit on the right side of the chest based on what I saw. And if you get hit on I think your heart's more left, right? More toward the left. Wow. I think it was they're saying chest, right? Not arm, but chest. There's so much probably to come out still. But wow. We definitely need to if you guys believe in the power of prayer, which I do, man, pray for Ricky Pearsall for full healing. Guys, yeah, it is a rough start. Exactly, Nate Dogg. Tim George says, is Evans working with any other organization? I'm not sure, Tim. He's not working with the Giants. I did ask him. We had just a quick phone call last week, and he is not working with the Giants in any capacity. He comes back as an alumni, but he may be doing some stuff with some other teams. I'm not sure. But, yeah, we'll definitely look that over. Just going through the chat. Yeah, Shota, that's a good point. Are you going to pay Yaz $9 to $10 million to be the fourth outfielder? I think I would just, gosh, maybe that's not too bad for a fourth. I don't know. Fourth out. I mean, you could just have a fourth outfielder that you got to look at the production. There's not a lot of production there really for Yaz. So maybe you're better off just cutting that bait and moving on. I mean, the Giants, the amount of money they've wasted on non-productive players is pathetic. And it sounds like they want to move off of Taylor Rogers. Nobody took him, though. Nobody claimed Estrada either, right? So, man, I'm just surprised they didn't put Conforto. I would have thought somebody would have wanted to grab a bat like Conforto, one of the playoff teams. I think he would have been a positive add for a team. Guy that can hit for power, nice situation, pinch hit situation. I would have thought, he's a free agent. You're only got to pay him $3 million for the month of September. And I would have thought that the Giants would have, maybe the $3 million wasn't enough for the Giants to consider. They just figured, we'll see. We'll see if where the Giants go, but they are right now. The Giants are 6.5 behind the Atlanta Braves, but technically 8 games behind the Braves because of the loss column. Right now, the Giants are 69 losses. The Atlanta Braves have 62, 7 less losses. But remember, the Braves hold the tiebreaker, so the Braves have to lose 8 more games than the Giants lose. The Giants, the most they can win is 93. Let's say the Giants somehow do this crazy, crazy thing and they get to 86 wins and they win 18. They go 18-7 in their final 25. 18-7. And the Giants finish 86-76. That means the Braves, to get to 86 wins, only have to go 12-16 or 14. Wait a minute. Yeah, 12-14. If Atlanta goes 12-14, now that's a possibility, but the Giants going 17-7. Wait a minute. 18-7. Sorry, 18-7. You think the Giants could go 18-7? Again, that would be 720 ball. I don't think the Giants, if you sent them team right now down to Sacramento and said, the Giants arrive in Sacramento and the Giants say, we are here. Move aside, everybody. The San Francisco Giants are taking over AAA by storm. I can guarantee you the Giants wouldn't go 18-7 in AAA. I bet you they'd probably go in 25 games. I bet you the Giants would in AAA would go like 15-10 best. Seriously. I think they probably only go 15-10 if they played their final 25 games in Sacramento. Yeah, Aaron, homers will still think the Giants have a chance when they're 3 games out with two games left to play. Exactly. I'm seeing some question. Yeah, that's a good point, Mark. Maybe that's why Farhan didn't make any trades at the deadline. Teams don't want Giants players for free. Exactly. Somebody said something about Estrada or suspect and Pearsall are both at San Francisco General. Criminal is from Tracy. Jeez. Got a question here from San Jose Sharks. My question is this about Estrada? Do they see someone who is better than him outside the organization, or was this a wake-up call to him? He is still young. He's actually 28 right now, not 26, and arbitration eligible. I don't think they see anybody better. I think they want to give the shot to Schmidt and Wisely, and I don't think they want to pay Estrada next year. I don't think they want to pay him. I don't know how that works. If he's non-roster, then he's no longer. Yeah, if he's not on the roster, he's not eligible for arbitration. He's a free agent. I think he becomes a. Does he not become a free agent if he's? Or I don't know exactly how that works. Basically, he's not on the roster, so you don't have to tender him a contract next year. So for arbitration. So I'm not exactly sure how that works. So yeah, Shote outright Estrada. He isn't on 40 man, so he won't go through arbitration, and he will be a free agent. Yeah, so he becomes a free agent because he's not on the 40. So my guess is Estrada moves on, finds a better situation. He's not a bad player. He had injuries. He played through them, affected his performance. But we've seen he has 20 stolen base potential. Hey, Estrada's got 20-20 potential. He's got 20 homer power, and he's got, a guy needs to go play in a ballpark that suits his style. Guy can still hit. He just needs to be in a better lineup. Estrada on the right team, he's a serviceable player. Look, the Giants have too many mid guys. A bunch of mid guys make a mid to below average team. So I asked you this before I had to run and played the Willie Mays thing. Where are the Giants going to be next year? What gives you hope that this Giants team's going to be better than this team? First base, you got question marks at first, second, maybe third base if Chapman doesn't come back. I need some water. You also got question marks at catcher's Bailey, but he's not much of a hitter. Pitching, what are you going to have for pitching? You're going to have Logan Webb and Robbie Ray, Harrison. That's 3 starters. I guess you have Birdsong. That's 4. I'm not totally sold that Birdsong's fully ready. Maybe you get Landon Roop to learn another pitch. But look, you're going to have holes in the pitching staff. Exactly, Matthew. Farhan can't build a lineup. That's why he does this platoon crap. 100%. Guys, this is as long as Farhan's here, you have no hope. And doesn't mean if they bring somebody else in that things are going to be better. Look, the Giants messed up big time when they hired Farhan and they didn't do a complete rebuild. They needed to do a complete rebuild in 2017. If you guys remember, the 2016 season, the Giants were like 56-35 the first half of the season. Top team in baseball record-wise. Second half, they were one of the worst teams in baseball and hung on to make the playoffs, barely. The last game of the season, I think it took, to get into the playoffs. Second or last game or last game. Giants in 2016 fell apart, and they haven't been good since. Since the second half of 2016, There's my water. Thank you. Since the second half of 2016, the Giants, besides the 21 season, if you just threw out the 21 season, it's an aberration, and took the record from the All-Star break on from 2016, the Giants, my guess is they're 10 to 15 games under 500. They were under, or more than that. I take that back. Way more, because I forgot how bad 17 and 18 were. They were awful the second half of 16. 17, 18, terrible. 19, they weren't, that good. 20, they was at that COVID year, and they finished 29 and 31. Then 21, obviously the 107 wins. 22, they were 81 and 81. Last year, 79 and 83. This year, probably 78 wins, 77 to 79, maybe 80 wins. I don't think they make it to 500. So look at the club, guys. Where's it going? They didn't do a full breakdown or a rebuild. They should have broke it all down in 17. They should have got rid of, in 17, if you really want to look what they should have done, they probably should have traded Belt. They probably should have traded Mad Bum and Crawford, and while these guys had value, and rebuilt the thing, and they would have been crappy in 17 and 18, which they already were, but they would have been crappy in 20, maybe 21, but they'd be starting to, by 22, they would have started being relative, and you might have a championship contender by now. See, this is the problem. What teams don't do is when they think they can do this half and half, it's the same thing I've been telling the Giants to do. Pick a lane. Either get in the fast lane or get in the slow lane and rebuild. You either go for it and you spend $300 million in payroll and you get the best potential players and you make some trades and you go for it and you don't worry about the money, or you just tear it all down and rebuild it. Yeah, Aaron, you're right. The Bill Walsh approach. Get rid of a guy a year early rather than a year too late. Did it with Ronnie Lott. Did it with Jerry Rice. Did it with Hall of Fame players, guys. Roger Craig. Many guys. Moved off of Joe Montana. He would have kept Montana. He was at the end of his career. You wouldn't have had Steve Young. You wouldn't have had the 94 Super Bowl. You got to be smart about this. The Giants trying to go mid and doing all this platoon crap to try to win on margins. Look, the only reason it worked in 21, and I'm tired of people who said, what about 21? What about 21? Forhan was an amazing. Look, you had everyday players in Posey, Belt, Crawford, Longoria, and then you got Chris Bryant in the second half. You had everyday players, okay? Belt and Crawford had huge years. Belt hit 29 homers, and I think he only played like 106 games, or maybe less. It was an amazing year. And you had Buster Posey, okay? So you can't tell me that was the norm. I mean, if I looked up Brandon Belt's stats, and in fact, why don't we just do that? Why don't I look up Brandon Belt's stats? Here we go. Okay, let's highlight his 2021 season. He only played 97 games, guys. 97 games, and he had 29 homers. It's like almost one every 3 games. He had a 975 OPS. Look at his OPS plus 160. That was a heck of a year for Brandon Belt. If Belt played 162 games or 150, the guy would have hit 40 homers. That's why the Giants won 121 games that year. Everything was clicking. Wade hit like 18 homers. It was just a magical season. Everything went, and you had Buster Posey. So my take with this, guys, is get used to this. The Giants in 2025, I'll bet right now, the over-under this year was 83, I believe. Was it 83, 83 and a half? Lou Marston would know. If Lou's still in the chat, he may not be. I know he's on vacation right now. Lou, if you're out there, what was the over-under for the Giants this year? Yeah, Matthew, they only played Belt versus righties, but yeah, stupid either way. That's right. They were playing a lot of first. He had a home run every 13 plate appearances with those totals. Unbelievable. I'm trying to remember what the win total was. Okay, it went up to 83 after Crapman signed and Snell. All right. We know Snell's probably gone. Chapman's we don't know. He comes or goes. But with the team next year, based on what I'll bet you the over-under win total is going to be 80 or less next year. I bet it's going to be right around 79. I don't think if Farhan's back, they're not getting any really good free agents next year. Why? Because of the way he's treated the free agents. Look at Soler. Soler signs a 3-year deal and gets shipped off. Who's going to want to come keep signing here with Farhan? How about Conforto comes here and signs a 2-year deal and gets platooned and gets pinch hit while he's batting cleanup? Chapman wants to come back because he likes the Bay Area and he likes Melvin. But really? I mean, that's nuts. That's nuts. All right, guys. I got to open up the Immaculate game. I'm going to need your help here. And then we'll the Immaculate Grid. Let me open that up. We'll do baseball, right? All right, here we go. Baseball, Immaculate Grid. All right, come on. Where's my deal? Hold on, I just want to play it. I don't want to. Okay, about Immaculate Grid. Okay, there we go. All right, here we go, guys. I'm going to pull this up. Well, what do you mean? 9 matches? Oh, whoa. This is interesting, guys. There's no teams. There's no teams on this one. This should be fun. I'll have to fill this in. Okay, so we've got a 200+ K season pitching with a under 3 ERA. Did Logan Webb do that last year? Or was his ERA over 3? Help me out, guys. 200+ innings, under 3 ERA. Eddie K says, Timmy, this could be any team. over 200 innings with a 10-plus win season. Bob Gibson for sure. Yeah, for sure. That's the easy one, right? All right. I'm just going to, I lost my, I lost something here, guys. I lost my grid there. I don't know what happened. I can't find it to type it in. So I'm going to close this out. Hold on. Something's going on my screen. I can't even. All right, let me stop this, pull it back up. I don't know if it'll be the same one. I screwed it up. Sorry. Trying to run this stinking board by myself is not fun. Okay. All right, it's the same one. Okay, good. All right. I have to have the screen open. Come on, mouse. Share screen. Okay, here we go. All right. I have to go back and forth because I can't see the chat when I'm looking at this, so I got to look. All right. Under 3. All right. Maybe I can get my producer here to run the chat here. I'm looking at the chat. Who do I want to go with? 200 plus K season, under 3 ERA. I know Bob Gibson's totally safe. You ready to go for it? I'm going to type in Bob Gibson because I don't want to mess up. All right. 10 plus win season with 200 Ks. Tim Lincecum. Let's go Timmy right there, okay? You guys good with that? We good with Timmy? 200 plus Ks? Got to be Timmy. I'm going with Timmy. Typing it in. There we go. All right. First round draft pick. Wait a minute. Help me out, guys. Does this mean first round draft pick with over 200 Ks? Huh? It does? Ah, shoot. Mad Bum had over 200 Ks, didn't he, guys? Yeah, Bumgarner. Let's make this as much Giants as we can. Oh, look at that, guys. How many Giants can we put on this board? Maybe we can do it all Giants, except I could have went with Juan Marichal, 200 Ks, instead of Bob Gibson. I should have done that, guys. I should have done Bob Gibson. Silver Slugger Award. Just any Silver Slugger? I got to go back to the screen and look at your chat. Any Silver Slugger, guys? Right? Any Silver Slugger? Or is it a Silver Slugger with a under? Wait a minute. I don't get this. Is it a Silver Slugger with? It doesn't affect the ERA, right? I don't have to do the under 3 ERA, do I? It has to be a pitcher, somebody's saying? A pitcher under 3 RA. Okay, Silver Slugger with a pitcher. Oh, that would have been Mad Bum. Dang. Who's another pitcher? Has to be a pitcher, guys. Okay, Mark Gray says has to be a pitcher. So he's got to be somebody that can hit. Who hit? Any of the Braves pitchers hit? Maddox, Smoltz, Kershaw. I bet you Kershaw. He could hit. You guys want to go Kershaw? Matthew says Mike Hampton. You sure, Matthew? Give me a thumbs up. Give me a yes or give me a. Well, if Matthew says it, he's pretty accurate. All right, Mike Hampton. I'm going to type in Mike Hampton. Let me check the bat with a check. I got to make sure. Oh, we got a question mark. Oh, he says yes. Okay. I got to go back. Mike Hampton. Oh, buddy. All right. Way to go, Matthew. Now batting. Number 25. Barry Bonds. Designated hitter. Did you guys see that thing on Twitter? Bonds smack against the Yankees. That was unbelievable. All right. 10-plus win season and a Silver Slugger. How about Clayton Kershaw? Guys? Clayton Kershaw, anybody? I'm not getting any help from the chat. Come on, chat. Give me, I'm thinking 10-plus win season. Who else used to hit the crap out of the ball? I should have used Mad Bum for that. I didn't look. I could have come up with a Silver Slugger. 10-plus win season. I'm not getting any help from the chat. What happened to my chat? Are they frozen? Zach Greinke. He's a pretty good hitter. I got to believe Kershaw. Don't you think Kershaw would have been on there? He might be good for the first-round pick and a Silver Slugger. Gee whiz. Yeah, who thinks of pitchers as hitters exactly, Mark? Zach Greinke. We want to go Zach Greinke here? Okay. We want to go Zach Greinke. Max Fried as the first-round pick or the 10-plus win? Which one, Matthew? Max Fried on the first-round pick? I'll wait for your typing. Max Fried on this first-round pick, and then we've got 10-plus. All right. All right, we're going to go there. Max Fried. He's a Silver Slugger Award? Okay. We're finding out. You got it. Okay. Man, this is tough. Now we need a first-round pick who won the Silver Slugger Award. Don Robinson, he was a good hitter. Yeah. Back in the day, those, yeah, think of old-time hitters. I just don't know who first-round picks are. First-round pick who was a Silver Slugger. And how long have they been doing Silver Sluggers for pitchers? Hasn't been that long, has it? It wasn't back in the 60s and 70s. They didn't give out silver, did they? Who's a pitcher? First-round pick. All right. Let's go to the Gold Glove. Gold Glove with under a 3 ERA. Greg Maddux. I say Greg Maddux. Yeah, it has to be pitchers. Greg Maddux there, Gold Glove, under 3. He was a heck of a fielder, wasn't he? Wait, Mark says this one doesn't have to be a pitcher? You sure it's in the same column as the three? It's in the same column. Doesn't it? It's not the same column, guys? Help me out. I needed Bora here tonight for this. What are you talking about, Bryce Harper? Mark says this one doesn't have to be a pitcher. Maddox for Silver Slugger and first round pick, or are we talking? I need somebody to come in here and help me. Gold Glove. Which guys? Tell me, does the bottom one count? Does the bottom one there count where it says Gold Glove under 3 ERA? Does that have to be some people say it doesn't have to be a pitcher. I don't understand this. This graph is messing with me. Okay. I believe only the round pick and Gold Glove don't need to be a pitcher. Oh. I'm confused. Under 3 ERA means, yes, it has to be a pitcher. So the Gold Glove has to be a pitcher. The one that's on the left column. All right. You know what? You're right, Eddie. I hated algebra. I didn't pay attention much. I'm going Greg Maddox here, guys, in this. I don't know if it's going to be right, but all right, there we go. We got 2 Braves, 2 Giants. Okay, this 10 plus, is this Gold Glove have to be a Gold Glove with a 10 plus season too? Is that one under Max Fried and next to Tom Glavine have to be a pitcher too? Yeah, I get it. It's a grid, but I see how it's working. It looks like the one on the right, first round draft pick at the bottom, Gold Glove, doesn't have to be a pitcher. Is that right? The bottom right corner doesn't need to be a pitcher. Just a. Oh, Steven, no, of course not. I don't agree with you. They're not beating the Diamondbacks and Padres. The best they can do is split the 6 games each with each of those teams. I will probably tell you that they go 4-8. I think they maybe they go 5-7, but treat it like a Super Bowl grid, Dan. Mark Burrell for the Gold Glove and 10 plus wins. Okay, Mark Burrell. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just not thinking well tonight. Mark Burrell. Okay. Now we got 2 guesses left. We got the Silver Slugger, who's a first-round draft pick. Now, that doesn't have to be a pitcher. So that could be like Mike Trout, right? Mike Trout, everybody? Barry Bonds? We can split those 2, right? The last 2, we can just put Trout and Bonds, right? Correct, Necron says. Anybody else got any other guesses besides I'm thinking Robert. Oh gosh. Just Robert. Yeah, let's go Will Clark. Gold Silver Slugger, Mark? I don't think did he ever win a Gold Glove, Will Clark? He had some good first basemen with him. Silver Slugger. Let's get as many Giants as we can in here. Hey, another guy we can do is Matt Williams. We can do Matt Williams in here. You guys want to do we can do Matt Williams as a Gold Glove and a first-round pick? Or was Williams a second-round pick? Gosh. First round and silver for Clark. All right, last one. How about if we go Barry? Should we go Barry Bonds? Was Matt Williams a first-round pick or a second-round pick? All right. I can go Matt Williams or Barry Bonds here. First person in the chat that says gives me a number, I'm going with it. Bonds or Williams. We can go Mike Trout for that matter. Yeah, seems to me I thought Williams was a first-round pick too. I think he was like one of the top 5 or 6 guys chosen. That's right. Thank you. We can go Bonds or Williams. Let's go old school, guys. Did I get it right? Yeah, we got it. All right. Yay. We did it. Look at that. How many Giants did we end up with? 4 out of the 9. Yeah, Griffey Jr., Mike Trout. I said Mike Trout. Yeah. Well, guys, not too bad. Not too bad. Thanks for your help on that. I brain farted on the chart there. Wasn't sure. Okay. It's a little easier when I see the logos. I like pictures. Give me some pictures, please. Okay. Oh, wow. Well, guys, been a great night being here with you solo. Enjoyed being with you. Let me turn my air conditioning down. I'm getting warm in here. Hold on. There we go. Woo! Should have opened it up, brought you guys in tonight. Did anybody want to come in before we get off? I think that's good enough. Giants lose again, guys. 4-3. I predicted in the pregame, if you watched it, 5-4 Marlins. I said this team's not good enough to sweep the Marlins. They couldn't sweep the White Sox. The only sweep they got of this season that I recall, they swept the Rockies and twice. They swept the Rockies twice this year. That's how bad this team's been. So, guys, we're going to keep building this thing. We got Bobby Evans, former Giants GM, coming here Tuesday night after the Giants Diamondbacks game, about 9:30 Tuesday night. Dave Dravecki will join us next Thursday night. Got lots of other guys we were working on. Some we haven't been able to close the deal, but we're working on it. For you football fans, Alex Mack, former Cleveland Browns. Well, Cal Bear, college at Cal, Cleveland Browns draft pick, went on to Atlanta, played in that Super Bowl, as I mentioned, 28-3, that they were ahead against the New England Patriots, the one Brady came back and, the infamous 28-3 game that Kyle seems to get all the blame for, even though the defense gave up all the points. Alex Mack will join us at some point. We're working on the date, but hopefully before the season starts. What are you talking about, Robert? You just joined us. Dan, if the Giants lose Snell, how are we better? You're not. You're going to be worse. The Giants are going to be worse without Snell, Robert. I already said, look, Robert, if one thing I can give you, thanks, Philip. Appreciate that. Robert, if there's one thing I can just give you is, I know you like to get hope, but without Snell, the Giants are going to be worse next year, okay? You tell me when the Giants – Robert, you haven't been right once with the Giants in the last 2 years. So – and you say they're going to come strong at the end. You said that last year. Remember you said they're going to run the table. They're going to run the table. So I'm telling you, the Giants will not finish 500 this year. They will finish under 500. The Giants will fail to finish strong. Thanks, Ron. Appreciate that. And I think the Giants I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say that Farhan gets the axe this year. I think this is the year he gets the axe. I think the ownership is probably the decision's already made. And don't let that whole thing that Mad Dog, when he went on live on NBC Sports Bay Area and Laura Britt asked the question about Farhan, and Mad Dog went off on the Giants network and basically said, what are you going to give him a job forever? The guy's done nothing. If it was me, I'd fire him, he said, and move on. Look, read between the lines, people. I think the Giants are sending that message out there. And I don't think there's if the Giants ownership's smart and they really want to change the direction of this franchise and start new, they need to do it right after the season. I mean, the day after the season, fire Farhan. They probably won't even fire him. They'll probably they'll try and move him to another department or whatever. But they should just cut bait. Unless he wants to take a back seat in the back office, but pretty hard for anybody to go from the top of an organization to a lower position. Giants hopefully are working on a plan and they have a successor in mind, because it takes a while to get a successor. You should have been working on a successor the last few months. And they should have a plan ready to go, because baseball season, as soon as the World Series is over, you got to have everything in place. So the Giants, I would fire them tomorrow if they lost. Seriously, I would just say, let's see what Melvin can do with 24 games left without Farhan. So, but guys, I really, really appreciate you guys being here. Really do. We're trying to bring you top quality content. We're trying to, it's hard to just keep saying the same thing over and over and over again as beating the same old dead drums, beating a dead horse, so to speak. we don't want to just be negative, but we want to be reality. So we try and give you some other things to talk about, other entertainment. We try to bring you some guests to give more insight into the team and sports in general. This is a sports network, and so we're bringing you guests. Last week or this past week we had great guests. We started off Monday night with Sean Estes, Tuesday Ned Coletti, Wednesday Marty Lurie, Thursday Ron Rivera, former head coach of the Super Bowl Carolina Panthers, played on the Chicago Bears '85 team, and then recently just was coach of the Washington Commanders. He'll come back with us and join us later in the season. We've got other players to join. Keep it here, guys. Subscribe. If you're not subscribed, we would love to have you subscribe. Really, it would mean a lot. We are right now, let me just check the current subs on our channel and tell you where we are as we speak. Up to date, we are at 2,198, guys. We're 2 subs away from 2,200. I want to blow through that 2,200 because we lose a couple people every day. They come, they go, they join through the chat, then they get off. Hey, look, guys, just stay subbed. You don't have to watch every show. Sub, help us out. Help the subs. It helps with the algorithms of the channel. We're working hard to bring you great content. As I mentioned, the guests that we're bringing to you guys are solid guests. These are, recent executives or players or star players, or in the case of Dave Dravecki, you're not going to want to miss his story. Amazing story. I've read his books years ago. One of my favorite athletes, Dave Dravecki. Love his story, love his heart. So, if you're out there on YouTube, guys, follow us on YouTube. If you're watching on Twitter right now or X, go to YouTube and hit that subscribe button on the YouTube. Just join us. You continue to watch us on X, which is great. Help us out with the subs. There's no cost to sub. Also, we do have a membership. It's purely optional. If you want to support, it's a way you can show support to the show. You don't have to support us. Look, we're not going to beg. Philip says, I want to subscribe, but my Google Pay isn't working for some reason. Working on it. Hey, thanks, Philip. Really appreciate it. If you want to be a member and help support the channel, that's great. We appreciate that. We're going to try and, we've got some sponsors we're working on, but frankly, it's really not fair to a sponsor to expect a sponsor to pay if you don't have very many subs or viewers, because look, I subscribed on these channels before. I mean sponsored. It takes a while to get business, and you really want to do what's best for your sponsors. If you I like to consider myself a person with some integrity, and I don't want to just take somebody's money for my benefit if they get nothing out of it. So, a sponsor with 2,200 subs, it's not bad, but most sponsors really prefer to have closer to 5,000 subs before it really pays off. We'll get some at 2,200. We've got some talks with people, and some people have expressed some interest. So, but I'm not so worried about that. When the time comes, we'll add those. But And I haven't frankly done a lot of work on it because I'm busy. This isn't my full-time job doing this. I've got a lot of work I got to do during the day to pay the bills, so to speak. And this is, more of a enjoyment. And frankly, it's a way. I'm 63. I hope to retire in 5 to 7 years, maybe work till 70, but then, build this thing up so it supplements my Social Security and all that. If that's around, who really knows if that's going to be around? I'm just trying to go through the chat right here. What do we got? Heroku. What are we looking at here? San Francisco Giants free agent woes continue. Oh yeah. Okay. Pearsall side. Let me get that. Laughing out. Money always makes you move to work. I'll work in Compton if I got paid enough. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, if you get paid enough, that's fine. Yeah. Money, the big motivator. But anyway, guys, we really do appreciate you. We know you have choices out there. There's a lot of good content creators out there. And, there's guys that are doing 49ers that are ahead of us, guys, some doing basketball, a lot of more and more people doing Giants content creator. Look, nobody's hope all the content creators are successful. That would be great. Nobody is here trying to compete against each other. We're just all trying to do our thing and hoping we all can entertain you and it's a positive experience for you guys and positive for us. So we enjoy it. And, like I say, there's other shows that are doing Giants. You can enjoy those too. We appreciate you being here. So, guys, we're going to end it tonight. And tomorrow, Giants, the rubber match. Down a little bit. Rubber match tomorrow. Pitchers for tomorrow, Logan Webb goes against the Marlins. Who's pitching for the Marlins tomorrow? Darren McCoggin. 0-0 with an 8.62 ERA. Wow, against Logan Webb. That's a mismatch if I've ever seen one in my life. But the Giants can't hit. The Giants can't hit. Watch him make this guy a star tomorrow. Darren McCoggin. He's pitched 15 2/3 innings, 24 hits, 9 base on balls, 5 home runs. Oh my goodness. This guy's horrible so far. Okay. So let's see where this thing let's see who's Giants should win tomorrow. As I predicted Friday night, they'd win 2 of 3. Friday and tonight I predicted they'd lose. So, but we'll be back tomorrow. The game time for tomorrow is 1:05, I believe. Yeah, 1:05, guys. 1:05 tomorrow. We'll be here at about 12:45, 12:50, right in there for a pregame. And then our postgame will be Sunday night, okay? Sunday night at 8 o'clock. We'll do our postgame. So until then, guys, have a great rest of your Saturday night. See you guys tomorrow. Stay safe. And as I said earlier, if you're a person of prayer, please pray for Ricky Pearsall for a full recovery. Pray for his parents, the trauma of hearing about that, really tough. So let's hope he makes a full recovery and gets well and is able to get back on the field and live a healthy life. All right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.